Hello. So I will be recording 3 kind of stand-up tour moments. I should say, in the interest of honesty, that these are not scripts that I wrote myself. I'm building off scripts from various tours I have given over the years, written by other people. That said, of course, I do put my own spin on them, if you will. Second, I will be using photos occasionally. You know, obviously I saw in the job ad about the importance of ethics and so forth. For a quick tour like this, I think everyone would correctly think that, you know, flashing a copyrighted photograph quickly is a form of fair use. But of course, for the actual tourist, for the actual job I would have with you, if I should be so fortunate, obviously I would track down copyright permissions relentlessly. But obviously, on a tour like this, a quick flash is fair use, I would think. And so here we are. I will flip it around the thing instead of at me. Here we are at the Rhode Island State House, the home of state government. So this building was built at the turn of the 20th century. It was designed by the firm of McKim, Mead, and White. The marble came all the way from Georgia. Prior to this time, Providence actually had multiple capitals. The capital originally in colonial times rotated among all 5 county seats. Then between Providence and Newport, both in Providence and in Newport, the old state houses still stand and are still landmarks. But this is the current home of state government. The most notable feature is the dome, which is 50 feet wide and is thought to be the 4th largest self-supported marble dome in the world. The 3 that are larger include 2 of the most famous buildings in the world, St. Peter's Basilica and the Taj Mahal. The 3rd is actually the Minnesota state capitol. A few years ago, there was a minor controversy. It was reported that a structure had been seen inside the dome in Minnesota. The guides here immediately upgraded to 3rd, but Minnesota counterattacked by proving the structure supported a lantern on top of the dome, not the dome itself. So Rhode Island was bumped back down to 4th. I am told that in Minnesota, their guides usually say one of the largest domes in the world, but here in Rhode Island, we want to know precisely where we rank. Now, the top of the dome is currently abandoned by its usual occupant. A bit windy today. The Independent Man. So this is what he usually looks like. An enormously tall, gilded bronze statue representing the independent spirit with which Roger Williams founded Rhode Island. Originally, they contemplated a statue of Roger Williams. We don't really know what Roger Williams looked like. There are no portraits from life. That has not stopped the erection of statues in many other places, maybe most notably Prospect Park, overlooking the city. But here they decide, because we don't know what he looked like, they would go with this more abstract representation of his ideas. But a drone recently discovered a crack in the base on which he stands, and so he was removed while that is being repaired. For a time, he was on display in the ground floor of the State House, or I guess you should say the first floor. I cannot really call it the ground floor with all these steps. But on the first floor, and so the public could come and look at him. I took advantage of that, as many people did. And now he's being refurbished himself while his pedestal is being fixed as well. This happened once before in the 1970s because he had been struck many times by lightning. He was taken down and then very dramatically returned to the top. Sorry, I almost pointed it the wrong way. Returned to the top by helicopter. So it would be cool if something that dramatic happened again, but right now we don't know for sure. Going down the front, we have an inscription from the Rhode Island Charter of 1663 to hold forth a lively experiment that a most flourishing civil state may stand and best be maintained with full liberty in religious concernments. That is probably the main legacy of Roger Williams and other founders of Rhode Island. In fact, John Clark of Newport was more directly connected with the writing of this charter than Roger Williams was, but it certainly did exemplify Roger Williams's ideas. He was really one of the first people in the world to embrace the idea of religious liberty as a natural right for all. As you can tell from the phrasing, a lively experiment. King Charles II was maybe not too confident about this, but he did allow it to go forward, and it becomes in the long run a major influence on the First Amendment and Bill of Rights for the whole nation. The statues depict Oliver Hazard Perry, a naval hero of the War of 1812, and Nathaniel Greene, a general of the Revolution. While those are very worthy figures, there is a bit of a more negative flip side to why these statues were erected. This is the time when Rhode Island is filling up with Irish and Italian and other immigrants, and so these statues were erected in part to remind the immigrants, you know, we, the so-called Yankee descendants of colonial people, we are the ones who really built this state, and these are two of our heroes. But of course, in the long run, descendants of immigrants are now the majority. Rhode Island is known for having the largest percentage of Catholics of any state in the nation. And of course, we are now experiencing like most of the country, we are now experiencing a new wave of immigration from the Caribbean and many other places. There is a notable Liberian community, for example. Right, so that is recording number 1. Occasional slips of the tongue, but I figure it makes more sense to just do it in one take because maybe I'll make more the next time. But overall, I think I got everything across very smoothly, and I hope this reinforces my skills as a communicator. So I'll be going to 2 other places. My current intentions are to go to the Bannister statue and to the Nightingale Brown House. If the other recordings end up being different, that will mean something thwarted my original plans, but that is my current plan. So thank you very much for watching this, and again, I hope it does reinforce my skills as a communicator. Thank you.